This is our installation guide for the Eastwood Engineering valve controller on the 991 chassis cars. First of all, we need to gain entrance to the rear hatch and remove the fans from the top of the engine bay. So with the cover removed, the fan will pull off the rubber plugs and lift up, out and away, and that can be left over to the left hand side. Next part is to locate the valve solenoid so that we can plug into the T-harness, and that can be seen down within the engine bay here. You may also find, by removing this vacuum line here and this vacuum line here, it gives you your hands a little bit more access to reach down towards where the solenoid is. And the best way I've found to access it is by using your right hand and turning your body over to the left hand side of the car. So this part of the plug plugs onto the solenoid, and this part of the plug plugs into the factory wiring loom of the car. So you can now see we've unplugged the factory loom from the valve solenoid, and now we're going to plug in the T-harness. The next part we need to do is mount the ground lead, which is the black lead, and this mounts onto the 10mm nut which holds the tray for the ECU, which is just on the right hand side here. Once that is securely in place, we then need to route the power lead for the controller into the vehicle. That can be done by routing underneath the plastic trim here and then through this grommet towards the back seats. With the power cable routed through the grommet into the back end of the car, we now need to plug the fuse tap into the fuse board of the vehicle. First of all, we need to remove this rear carpet trim just by pulling away, which will then expose where the grommet is that the fuse tap comes through into the car. So with the power lead coming through the grommet, coming under the carpet and popping out, we can now come down to the fuse box, where we need to remove this plastic trim off the front. Now we just need to test to make sure that the fuse that we're tapping into has got a permanent 12 volt power supply. So we've got a power probe here, and we're just going to test. Normally on the Gen 2 GT3 Touring this 5 amp fuse here has a permanent 12 volts, so that's what we're going to use as our fuse tap. So here we are in a 991.1 car. On the bottom row of fuses we have power on the 20 amp, power on the 10 amp, power on the 15 amp and power on the 30 amp. I'd recommend using the 10 amp fuse. Then the last part is just to refit the fan and the shroud that goes over the top of the fans. And with the shroud fitted over the top of the fans, we're all done. And with the shroud fitted over the top of the fans, we're all done.